Alright. I don't know how, like, good this is gonna be, so, looks horrible, but it's gonna have to do for now. Anyway. Major things, but, where do we begin? Well, for one, I don't really look like myself right now. I'm in a constant state of moving, but we're gonna have to make do. And for once, we're gonna have to make the show without any cursing for once, because I really, despite the fact that I'm really mad at Google and YouTube for a lot of things, I am going to try to keep my cool and try to just play along with this for the time being. And I'm known to make live streams out of nowhere, and then my cat wants to join the party. Hi, Munkerdoodle. So I'll just wait for people to come in. Oh, watch out real quick. Because in order to do that, monkey, I actually have to share this. Share that with... There we go. Coolio. I want to get something right there just to keep it from, like, falling over. Just take that out for a moment, and then just put that on top. And then once it, like, goes low on battery, we'll just take it and we'll just do that. What? What? Do you like the screen? Do you like the screen? All right. I could do that, but I don't want to risk it. But I don't have a choice at this point. Ah, monkey, what are you doing? What are you doing? There we go. You know what? I should actually do that. Knock it off! Guess while we wait, I can actually still have a bit of a snack to enjoy, John. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, crap, here comes iTunes. You know what? I forgot to do that. My dumb self forgot to do that. Gotcha. Should I have a mute button on here? Actually, I do. I do have a mute mic. Cool. All right. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Perfect. Cool. Let's see. See if I can also broadcast from you now. Continue Facebook. There we go. Yay, thank you. No, I'm good on that, but thank you. What else is all on? Wow, that's actually a lot to go through. 120 likes on you now? You seen that? Wow. No notifications. Okay, coolio. Wow, that's actually pretty good. I need to update that. I know I'm just talking to myself for a little bit, but once it comes in, we'll start doing something. Okay. Yeah. 123 fans. So ah, She's not supposed to be on there anymore. Kicked her out. Wow. Yeah, I got a lot I gotta go through. If no one shows up, Monkey, we'll just cut it short because it's all good. I just need to announce it a little bit more often, you know. Who's a good kitty? Sending the clouds. You already did that.
Second drag him in unless it's going to do the same thing.
Actually, I'm on.
Fine, huh?
Wait. Hold on, wait. What exactly are you using? Are you using internet or are you using?
Yeah,
Firefox?
I'm using Firefox right now.
Oh no. Marty, are you using internet or are you using Firefox or Google Chrome?
Hey, Sammy, what's going on, man?
It's gonna let you use Internet Explorer or like whatever others besides Firefox.
Just looking over some stuff real quick and then trying to get some stuff set up together before we get started. Don't really have much to go on about, but just decided, screw it. Got make a show. I didn't mean to say screw it. I mean just make a show, you know. Black Flag. I've only listened to one song by Black Flag, but I mean I'm into punk, but I haven't really gotten much into Black Flag and all on me. So great. People calling me chased away my audience. Let's see. 1 second. Out of the car, so I'll be right back. I'll answer that question in just a moment fully. Let me just go ahead and get something taken care of. Okay, I'm back. And there's some stuff I need to look back over again. So, Sammy, what was that question you had again? Was it something about Black Flag? Alright, so let me go over this, make sure we got everything on site here. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on? Gotcha. I've gotten myself into punk too. I've had a little bit more of a chance to do some branching out nowadays. Gotcha. So easier moderation plus alt key, pause the chat, point to a message. Okay, got it. That's what I have a moderator for. Thank you, YouTube. But yes, I've gotten a little bit to punk. The punk. Black Flag. Haven't really gotten much into, but it's a start.
It's a start.
So. Sorry, I'm trying to pause this because this is how I can review the comments a whole lot better. I do like the Ramones. As a matter of fact, I actually started getting into the Ramones a bit. This is like back somewhat over in 2006, 2005, but I wasn't too much into the Ramones until later on, until after I ended up seeing the movie called SLC Punk. And for some of those who don't know who SLC, what else, I can't even talk. For some of those who don't know what SLC Punk is, it's Salt Lady, Sulk, SLC Punk is, it's Salt Lady, Sulk, Salt Lake City Punk, which is starring Matthew Lillard, who is pretty much the main character, and pretty much going off the lifestyles of what punk is in certain regards to how the lifestyle can change around that certain individual when going through life changes. So, and that's kind of another thing that got me into a little bit more of the Ramones and somewhat of the Sex Pistols and the Adolescents. Well, even though the Adolescents was like back in the days in like the early 2000s when I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and then I noticed that song. So it's a song that came to mind. So punk music really came more to a focused uh, to recent and pretty much current events. Still into my thrash metal area too. I'm not leaving my metal roots because metal is going to be always my number one genre. But you know, I've kind of opened my heart up a bit to punk music in a way, and even though that punk isn't really my number one area too, uh, there's some things about it that I do enjoy, and I've adopted that kind of thing. Kind of pissed at my Facebook. Got post blocked again. This time I'm not going to bother making a new one and just gonna wait for my page. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, to be honest, nowadays. You can get banned for like almost anything, even just for saying a simple sentence. If it doesn't go into certain regards to how they use their qualification of, what's the word I'm looking for? If it doesn't meet their standards, which is a scary thing. True. Lemmy Kilmister was the what people called the punk metal god back in the days. But we have to also remember we had the Ramones, we had the Sex Pistols, we had what was the other one? We had, was it NDR? I think that was one of them. I have a little bit of their music on there, and then what was the other one? Stiff Little Fingers. That was one I do definitely have. So that's another bit of punk that I've also obtained and might enter myself into that. But nowadays, I don't really go any further in terms of music unless it's like Metallica, Killswitch Engage, Trivium, or Judas Priest, in that matter. Because I know nowadays there's more newer metal bands and new punk bands that are coming through. But to me, I just don't feel like progressing any further. I just feel like I just want to stick with what's already there. That's just my kind of lifestyle to it, but I'm still willing to make the exceptions because the bands that I still like are still here. They're still playing. They're still going on strong, and that's definitely what I love. And you know, that's just my lifestyle and just how I see it. Uh, Coolio. All right, so I got that taken care of. Oh yeah, the Misfits too. I forgot about that. Danzig as well. That was Cliff Burton. I think that was one of Cliff Burton's favorites of punk metal bands. Let's see. Coolio. But yeah, a real quick update. I've been trying to do the live streaming through YouTube again, which I've got somewhat of progress through, but it's still not accepting the encoder. So the next time if I do like a group hangout or whatnot, I'm gonna have someone just educate me and trying to connect the stream, and I'll try to do the stream from there. So next time we do anything, we'll have some sort of progression to it, and then we can start getting things rolling. But let's see. I wonder. Okay, cool. I was making sure I have a lot more features than I had before and making sure they were still there. Also, for anyone who's actually a part of the dramatic reading or who is actually scheduled for the dramatic reading due date for Atticus the Death Meddler's dramatic reading over a certain individual that we're doing on Halloween is due, what, today or tomorrow? So get that in, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of it. That being said, I submitted my part. I'm really excited for it. So Atticus the Death Meddler is going to be making a video like that for Halloween. I'm excited and I'm stoked for it. Definitely. But yeah. Bad Religion, yes, as a matter of fact, Bad Religion, Undertaker Freak 1127 got me into Bad Religion a bit. This is way before I had a falling out with the dude, but getting a little bit more into there, I don't know. I kind of stepped back away, but I kind of still kept into like the areas of like Chevelle, and other types of other bands. But Bad Religion itself, I still kept a little bit of their stuff around, but I kind of felt a little bit more distant because it kind of just reminded me a bit of John, or UTF in that way. Uh, which, ironically, I don't really feel any disdain or hatred or anything towards UTF. By the way, not to get off track, but I'm just kind of wishing that he kind of, be a little bit open-minded to shit like that. But Bad Religion, I haven't kept up with Bad Religion since my falling out with John, because again, he basically got me into Bad Religion in that way. Glad you're excited for that. I'm actually stoked for it. La 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 la. But again, this live stream that I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to do my utmost best to not curse or anything like that. I'm just going to be absolutely genuine and completely calm throughout this matter, because there are some things I do need to go over. Hey, Atticus, what's going on? Okay. This is not directly about you know who, but something that I really want to kind of go over. I don't really care what people think anyway. I actually had this sort of an argument with this person on Twitter when it came to a certain regards, and this, again, this isn't about who we think it is that I've been kind of covering for like the past couple of days. But if you guys know, we already know the allegations about all that with Kai and Gregory. But this ain't about them. This is about something a little bit more different to that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are aware of a person named called Real Stream News, he's a guy who kind of covers a lot of the controversial subjects regarding people like Onision, Joy Sparkles, and all these other channels combined out there that you can do. I wanted to do something a little bit more different. Because you know what? I don't need to explain myself to people when it comes to certain things like this. Because one, I'm not making merchandise, profiting off of people. And even, even if this live stream goes off, I can just turn the demonetization off anytime I want. And guess what? I've been having this on here. You know what? If I want to call people out, because I want to call people out. That's my fucking right to. Sorry to curse. Sorry. Looks like I'm not going to be monetized. So even if that, and actually that brings me to my other case. So I got into this argument because I actually saw a tweet that was from Realstream News, who was talking about, oh, I'm so sorry everyone, because I actually was trying to sell merch of a person who was grooming a 14-year-old or other people at that matter, and I was trying to make money off of it. Sarah, one of the victims, ended up accepting my apology. But again, I'm going to go right back to the same thing. Just because you apologize for something does not necessarily mean that the audience or the people anyway is going to take what you have lightly. So I got into this sort of, I guess it's an argument in a way. I'm not going to say who this person is. I'm just going to say this with absolute respect of an acquaintanceship. But I actually made a 2-minute and 45-second video calling Realstream TV or Realstream News out. I apologize on that behalf. And I said, F you. What you did was stupid. What you did was wrong. You decided to make money. And just because you changed something, that doesn't mean necessarily that you're actually sorry about it. You know, for all I know, you could just be saving face, because the only thing that you really changed is the fact that you actually had on an advertisement on shirts was "I'm grooming you nicely," and you had Kai's cartoonish face on top of the t-shirt. Now, when you go to the actual merchandise store, and I'll check comments here in just a moment, the problem is that you didn't change much. You just put Kai is crying as the thing. It's like almost a save change or a save face thing. Hold on. For some reason, it said held for review for that. Roland's band, yeah. But the problem is that when you're selling merch, you're still doing something off there. But this is where I actually got into an argument with this person. So I made my video. So the person replied to me saying he quite obviously wasn't trying to promote Kai. He was attempting to take the piss out of Kai. I honestly think he went too quick into an attempt to take a pop at them. So subsequently hadn't considered the victims as soon as he took a beat and said sorry. Okay, well, I'm not trying to say this out of it in any disrespect, but it doesn't matter what if you're taking the piss out of somebody in the public stance when you're putting them on merchandise. The fact of the matter is you're still promoting the said person or the said abuser, the person who is abusing the person, by putting into that context, "I'm grooming you nicely." What kind of context do you think that would also set off? Not only in the sense of you profiting off of a situation that is really going out of hand here, number one. And number two, what do you think that impression is going to set on people when they look at a shirt in public saying, "I'm grooming you nicely"? Maybe one of two things. But what if someone actually gets the very wrong idea, that they look at somebody's shirt and be like, "Are you really supporting what I think you're supporting?" You have to think about the mentality of what people would actually address to that matter. So real quick. Yeah, I couldn't believe that anyway. It's disgusting. But again, and I want to make this completely clear again. This isn't about Onision. This isn't about Kai or Blaney or Taylor. Just whatever you want to describe her or him as, whatever. Realstream News, and we're going to go back to the argument here, but here's another thing that really kind of fortifies the argument here, is that Realstream News actually has more of a infamous reputation in my perspective. He already promoted Joy Sparkle's BS, who, in a different kind of obsessive way, was obsessed with that said individual we all definitely despise. Her obsession in that perspective was not out of genuine concern. She was more in it for herself and for the money. She's already admitted that she was in this for the money. I didn't actually know that, by the way, about Kanye West and premarital sex. Wow. I mean, people's business is people's business, but I don't know why Kanye West is getting butthurt about that. Sorry, dust. Okay, so I actually want to continue this because this is what kind of got me a tad bit intrigued by the argument. So I even said he puts Kai's face on a t-shirt that's still promoting them, whether if it's in a positive or a negative light. And I show the screenshot basically of the shirts that he was supposedly selling. He's taken it down now, but he swapped it out with Kai is crying. To me, it just feels like a saving face attempt. And it's pretty apparent that the behavior of Realstream News feels a little bit more into a pattern. So let me go over here. No, promoting to me is backing somebody and cheerleading for them. That's not what CJ was doing here, but people are too quick to jump the gun because this is the internet and everyone loves a good chance to beat down on someone. No, and this is actually a recent one. This one just kept going on. Promoting somebody is still actually in two different forms. Just, okay, and for example, let's think about what I just said right now. I'm actually promoting Realstream News right now, even though I'm speaking about him in a negative way because people, you guys are watching, are hearing about him. And if this makes people curious enough to go to his channel and to find out what he is or what he does, that's still promoting him in a way. That may be your perspective, Miss B, or Miss, let's just say BH as the initials, so that way I don't give it away. That's the perspective I'm talking about. So whether people were talking crap about me or they were saying good things about me, it's still the value of promotion. At least when I'm talking about that value of promotion, I at least tell you that it doesn't matter. It still goes both ways. So maybe your perspective is a little bit more different than mine. I don't hold that against you though, but I actually do have to play some messages a friend of mine just sent me, which I will mute that in just a moment, but I want to take the time to go over a few more arguments. I'm just going to put that's your perspective and I can at least respect it, because you know what, I don't like to be antagonistic. That's not who I am. So let me just do that real quick. Pyrotechnics, I think Judas Priest got those, and I think Metallica in my opinion, but I haven't seen enough shows to compare. So I'm just going to respectfully respond to this person. And again, it's not any offense to this person who I am arguing against, but it's only because I've seen a certain behavior that kind of feels like it's repetitive enough to go there. But she even made the argument to me that, okay, well, you're going to be posting this 2-minute and 45-second video on YouTube. So isn't it kind of apparent that you might possibly be profiting or anything like that? No, because for one, I'm not selling merch. Number two, even if I actually did have monetization on here, there's two major problems with that. Number three, which I'll get into the other two in just a moment. Number three is that my channel is mostly me calling people out for the stupid things that they do. I do stupid things and people have every right to call me out for it. I will take the honest road on that part, okay? I've done stupid things. I've been called out for it. The live stream I made about Mortal Kombat when it first came out, I had every right to be called out for it, and you know what? Stuck to who I was supposed to be and stuck it up like a man. I don't expect people to forgive me for the stuff that I've done, but you know what? I took the criticism and I moved on with it. Now, he may have apologized, but the thing about it is that I'm not here to dogpile on him. But again, I've seen this behavior before. It may not be the exact same behavior when it comes to terms of Joy Sparkles, but again, I even respectfully warned him. It's like, okay, when you're talking about an individual who doesn't care really much about anything, in particular to that whole situation back then. Now, it may have been in different circumstances and directly from another perspective, but again, you're talking about a person who didn't care about what was really going on. People like myself, Some Guy 27, Mr. Repsion, Repzilla, other people around, we actually had a legitimate reason to do that. I don't feel the need to profit off of people. But if I feel like calling somebody out, regardless if I had monetization on my videos or not, I'm going to do that regardless. But never in my life would I actually monetize a video trying to gain or profit off of somebody's abuse and hurt. Never. I've stated this before, but this is a live stream because this is me just calling somebody out. Okay? This is me respectfully disagreeing with somebody, but this is me also trying to at least tell you my perspective of the situation. So I want to get a little bit more into this because the tweet kind of goes on. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, when people feel the need to make a YouTube video about it, I mean, if not to further your YouTube presence is going to be to anybody regardless of what you make, regardless of the situation that comes at hand. It depends on how you use that presence. So to you, Miss BH, I'm sorry, but again, that's going to happen regardless. YouTube presence is going to actually go on regardless of any situation that occurs. So I'm sorry to say that. I got dogs barking in the background, so I apologize. The promoting thing, I already went through that. Yeah, okay, so she says, I also assume the video of This Is Yours is going to be put on YouTube regardless. This isn't going to be monetized because if it is, it means you're also profiting off of something that affects the victims. Well, not necessarily because, again, I'm not using merch. I'm not actually using merch and profiting the collections off of that. And also, financially speaking, in between the two differences, let's say if I actually did make money off this, you think I'm really going to be making that much off of a scenario like this? YouTube and Google Enterprises is going to be pretty much taking the majority of that profit. I'm not even making anything off of this anyway, so why bother trying? Which leads me to the two things. So even if I did, I can't anyway because I have to watch my mouth because YouTube does not allow cursing. And since I did curse in this live stream, they're not going to allow me to make monetization on it. And even if I did want monetization, I'm not going to let it happen anyway because I know better. And that was one of the arguments that I made. I know better, and the fact that YouTube is not going to let me do this because of simple words that came out of my mouth. That is what I was trying to pitch at you. I even did say that regardless of what you think about me, I'm not here to insult your intelligence. You know, with all due respect to this person's acquaintanceship, I just ask that you just don't jump the gun on this. I've been on YouTube for over since 2010, maybe a little bit sooner than that, maybe a little bit before that. So I've been let's just say I've been over on this for over 10 years. Okay, it's nothing different. So if that was the case, then yeah, we would be in a different scenario right now. Nothing yet. So I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'm gonna read you guys' comments and then I'm gonna see where we go. Yes, their system is still broken. I definitely agree with that. All right, I'm gonna mute the mic real quick and I have to read a few messages real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, so I just got done receiving my messages from my friend here. He wanted to let me know that the person that I was pretty much responding to in regards of pretty much Twitter and such is that, yeah, some people might just stick their opinion in it just for the sake of having their opinion in it. I just lost like 5 people, so my bad. See what you made me dumb? Show. I don't know why he keeps telling me to do that. It's weird. There we go. Okay. I'm going to refresh this real quick just in case if it goes back. So. That's definitely going to go down to the 0 here in just a moment. You know, I probably should have just done that. Yep. I screwed myself over. What did I do? Okay. Do I have you guys back? I'm sorry. I'm not sure if that kicked you guys out or whatnot. I did not mean for that to happen. I was trying to play the messages without you guys hearing those because I like to keep confidences of people secure. I respect privacy. So yes, I have seen Scarface. Definitely. Which one? Are we talking the Al Pacino version or are we talking the 1930s old school gangster version? Lemmy, how you doing, man? Hey! Oleander, what's going on? Yes, I've definitely seen the Al Pacino version. Definitely. I have yet to play the video game version of it. I know it's like an alternate area where pretty much he... Yeah, that one. I haven't seen the one that was. I've only seen the ending part of the Al Capone version. The ending where he's down the stairs and there was bullets flying. That's like literally the only scene I've seen of the original Scarface. I have not seen anything before that or after the fact. So I actually have to go back and see the original Scarface. Definitely. Other than that, I've actually focused more of my attention on the 1960s and 1950s versions of pretty much the German Stalags. Hogan's Heroes, for one, in 1969 was basically a show that my father was into. He got me into the show, and so I got a little bit more interested in these WW2 comedies that they actually had. Stalag, I believe Stalag 7, or was it Stalag 15, which was a 1956 version, which was before that. It was somewhat like a comedy, but mostly in the versions it was more about someone being an actual spy and a leech to the German army. So pretty much, yeah. Gotcha. I did not even know that he didn't even like the name Scarface. Technically, I can be Scarface because I have a scar on my face, like right there. If I had one of a wolf, I would have actually had it right there. Let's see. Ew. I did not want to see that. Ah, boy. But, where was I? Yes. RSN. I don't know exactly if you were watching this or if you actually did see the little video I made on Twitter for you. The video is technically uploaded. It's just not public yet. But this live stream wasn't originally supposed to be about that. But you know what? I was just kind of like, I'm a little bit irritated, and I really think I should kind of vent this out a little bit because if I actually put something up on here confronting you about the situation or confronting you about something does not mean that I'm in it for the money or I'm in it for the fame. Yes, there's a presence to it. Everyone actually has a presence value when it comes to any sort of content that they make. But what I do, I know exactly what I do. And unlike certain people out, I take the criticism. In fact, if it wasn't for these people in this chat, which by the way, it's scars for the ladies. Yes, I know, Atticus. And by the way, Atticus, I told everyone that whoever didn't get their clip for the dramatic rating, do it because it's either due today or tomorrow. So, do you like the movie Casino with Joe Pesci? Yes, I've watched that movie dozens of times. This is even before I even moved to Vegas. And as a matter of fact, certain scenes that they shot was over in the Fremont Street or in the Fremont area. There's a restaurant which is right beneath the Plaza Hotel where they shot, where Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone were having a conversation about stolen money, which is actually in a restaurant called Beef, Booze and Broads, which is owned, I believe, by Oscar Goodman, who happened to be the lawyer for the mafia in real life, who also portrayed himself within the Casino movie, which is based around the events of Casino, or the actual real life events of Casino at the Stardust Hotel Casino Resort. Okay, so Nate and Mally partially, so that's pretty good. Goodfellas, yes. Goodfellas, okay, so Goodfellas, Casino, and Goodfellas, Casino, Scarface. There was one more. Oh yeah, and The Godfather. Those are like my 4 favorite gangster flicks ever that I've ever seen in my life, and that I will always forever enjoy. Especially with Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, he's always the funny one, hey, you resting? Yeah, I know I'm resting. So they start questioning me. He's like, yeah, what do you want to tell me now, tough guy? He's like, my usual, 0, nothing. Fuck, I tell you. He's like, no, you're gonna tell me something today, tough guy. I was like, all right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother. And everyone just starts laughing. That's why everyone loves Joe Pesci, because he knows how to make people laugh. He even knows how to improvise sometimes, which I'm believing that he improvised that scene between him and what was his name again? Ray Liotta. I really thought that he actually had him in a scare film. I was like, how the fuck am I funny? Man. And then he just got him right at the end. That's just what I just believe he improvised that scene. He's like, how the fuck am I funny? Okay, yeah, thank you. Oh yeah. Also, if you guys have seen the Joker movie, there's an app. I don't recommend you do a subscription to the app that's pretty much advertised to Instagram. You can actually make yourself look like Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, if you use that app. Don't do the subscriptions because the Joker thing is absolutely free. So if you want to try that out, definitely do that. Here, let me see if I can find it. So if you're interested in actually getting like a Joker face like Joaquin Phoenix, I can definitely tell you what the app is. Let's see what it is. I mean, I have it on here, but like I'm afraid I'm gonna close my. Dude, yeah, Joker was definitely phenomenal. I'm gonna go see Jojo Rabbit next and see how people get so offended. All right. You know what? Let's just do it this way. So photo.ai, that's the app. So if you want to look like the Joker, like Joaquin Phoenix the Joker, download the photo.ai app, but don't do any of the subscriptions. I don't recommend that. Just skip all of that. Just go to the Halloween stuff and you'll see a Joker thing to do the face, and then take a picture and you'll look exactly like the Joker. That's how I got mine. How am I missing like 20% already? Isn't this charging? Hold on one second. Yeah, it's charging. I've seen all the Godfathers, and what I really think they should do is that they really should actually make a fourth Godfather. Pretty much in place of Garcia, who I think Garcia portrayed. He was the nephew of. Hold on, of Michael Corleone, and I think the other one was he was the son. He's like the illegitimate son of Sonny Corleone from the first and second movie, because he technically made a last appearance in the second movie, but he didn't make another appearance in the third. So you basically had, I think it was Vincent Corleone. That's his name now. I think it really should pick up where Vincent Corleone's like an old person, but like I think they should add a little bit more to it. Do something a little bit new, like add a new generation of something to it, at least. But in other news, and also according to cinema history here, as it turns out, D&D, who I believe the directors, by the way, who made the Game of Thrones season, they are canceling Star Wars. And as much as that is an epic fail, in my opinion, it's actually a win for me personally, because in my opinion, I think they would just fuck everything up, because I had a story going on that I'm writing out, which I'll get into my other subject here in a moment. But D&D not directing Star Wars was like a for me. All right, I'm gonna check you guys' comments real quick. That way, I'm not too far behind. The Irishman. Let's see. The only mafia show that the mafia movie I've seen that actually had like Irish in it was more like with not Donnie Brasco. That's the one with Johnny Depp and Al Pacino. I think the one that I was referring to, it had Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson in it. That one. And it's based around an Irish mafia. Yeah, Game of Thrones writers quit new Star Wars trilogy. It's even on Angry Joe's channel, which that's holy shit. I'm really glad that they didn't go through with this, because I think a lot of heads would be raising, and not to mention the trailer for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
I knew how to run large events.
Oh, shut up.
I had no clue how to run a business. Then I discovered Capterra, and I found the software tools I needed.
Pause. Proof. Thank you. Shit. Sorry. Ad would not go off. So anyone kind of bitch about me about the ad going, it's going to be gone for one. And number two.
Using about 20 different software packages in order to and I found them all.
No, I haven't seen The Taxi, but I know it's with Robert De Niro. I definitely need to see that, though. I know it's one of the most controversial films of all time. So the Irishman movie, no, I have not seen that. I've only seen a tad bit of Taxi Driver, by the way. Jojo as well. I mean, I get it because the Nazi bashing gets really old because we obviously know that Nazism is a bunch of just bullshit anyway. But I think because it's so much political satire and they're branching off the beaten path here, which I think that's what I like about this, and that's why I want to go see it really bad because for one it's going to offend people, and that's definitely why I'm going to go see it. But it's branching off a beaten path, and I think that's a good thing because sometimes, you shouldn't be afraid to make movies like that. I mean, Django was definitely a movie that Quentin Tarantino made. He branched off the beaten path. He actually ended up using the N word so many times. Not that I'm saying that that's okay, but it gives you the idea that this is not only just a movie that's funny, action filled, and pretty much like wow, but it also tackles the controversial subjects of racism and slavery. And yes, I heard about the controversial subjects regarding around Stalin as well. The Departed. Okay, yeah, The Departed is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and Jack Nicholson. One scene I remember in particular is Jack Nicholson getting so pissed because, like, when I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump the body in the fucking marsh. And then one scene in the ending, Matt Damon comes in, Mark Wahlberg has a silencer, and he's like, all right, just get it over with. Okay. Let's see. Coming to Netflix on the 27th, the cast. Okay, definitely. I will definitely go see that. Or do I actually have it in my movie collection? No, I don't, which I should go buy it too. I remember the time ago when Joaquin was fooling around with the paparazzi getting into being a fake rapper. Oh my gosh. I have actually seen A Clockwork Orange with McDowell. It was a fucked up movie, but nonetheless, he still played a terrific part. I think what was his name? Alex or Alec? It's been I haven't seen it since I was in Texas, and this is like over not 9. This is over probably maybe like 11 or 12 years ago. So it's kind of been a while since I've seen A Clockwork Orange. There was like a band of 4 people that he had. They used to hang out at this bar where they drank like drugged milk and stuff. Fettuccine Alfredo. I've actually had. That sounds like fettuccine. When it says fettuccine, that's more like food, and I do recall that being food, and I've eaten that before, and yes, I have eaten fettuccine. Hello, Chelsea. Okay, Alex. Okay, it's only because I haven't seen it in over 12 and 11 years, so it's Alex. So, the singing in the rain part, I think that's the disturbing part that I didn't want to see, in the fact that they did the treatment on Alex when they kept his eyes open while trying to keep him in line to watch the entire movies, to keep him like psychologically kind of twisted and turned at their will to being a better citizen, which that treatment never worked. So you saw Zombieland 2, okay. Athena, how's it going? Let's see. But I ended up seeing bits and pieces. Well, actually, I went back and I saw one horror movie I wish that I had never. The Fly 2. I've seen most of The Fly 1, but that was a movie I actually didn't hear about until now. Yeah, shocking, because the first Fly movie I've ever seen was actually The Fly 2, and I was only about 8 or 9 years old when this came out, and it was a very disgusting movie. One scene in particular was very sad because it actually had a dog who was dying, and he was also mutated, and I felt very bad. But at the very ending, when you watch The Fly 2, wait, there's a remake of it? Holy crap. But like, I watched the second one, and the ending of the second one was just wow. I would not even wish that upon my worst of enemies. Having to live the rest of your life as a mutated human now trapped in like fly DNA and being mutated and having to crawl for the rest of your life. Ooh. I could not eat food for 2 days. Requiem for a Dream. No, I have not seen Requiem for a Dream. I will actually write that one down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start making a list of movies I have not seen. In the late 50s, remaking. Ah. So there was an original one in the 50s before. Okay, see, I didn't know there was an original one. I know that it's kind of like The Thing in a way because they remade The Thing in the 80s, but then before that there was a gotcha. Heroin addiction. Gotcha. All right, that's definitely one I'm definitely going to write down for the books because I think that kind of touches upon a personal matter. Gotcha. So I'll try to match that to, right up too. Left 4 Dead. So that'd be cool. So real quick. Alright, I should really consider having a guest speaker here. No, I have not seen Velvet Blue. I have not. Hey, Atticus, are you still here by any chance? Based upon Herbert Selby Jr., Chelsea C. Oh, and yes, guys, I am working, because I have Microsoft Word on my phone now, because I'm planning on taking a trip. I don't know if I said something weird before. Wait, what's going on? Sorry, this thing is, like, not up to date. My chat's just being a little weird, so bear with me. No, you're fine. I'm just not, for some reason I can't see the entirety of the chat. So, hold on one sec. Was something going on like Starfire? Yeah, you're good, man. Ad's gonna play, so forgive me. That sort of scared the shit out of me. Did you guys hear that? That was like some scary ass wind. Okay, The Fly 2 was in 1989, so it had to have been 1986 if I'm looking at the date correct on this for the first, not the original, but for the first Fly, like before the remake. So that could be let me go back and see, because I think Atticus should be our guest of honor. Yes, I still play Pokemon Go. I just haven't been on as often, just because of certain issues and updates that I would actually have to constantly go through. But I will definitely be back on that. Definitely. Yeah, their repertoire. Okay, let's see. Read an article. Okay. And yes, I will definitely pick up the gift thing, and I'll try to travel a little bit more, and I'll try to send you some gifts for the walking. I've only seen a bit of pieces about The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. One scene in particular was like the insect politics that he went on about before his mutation got worse. And there was one scene in particular where his transformation was nearly complete, and the only thing that was left of him was his
mutation got worse.
rotting flesh. Sorry, this thing is. And then basically his mutation pretty much begun, and he was trying to get his wife into one of the teleportation pods, and trying to, from what I hypothesized, he was actually trying to, I guess, merge together, and that was right when he actually like spat up acid on one of these scientists' hands, and it came to a part where when he got out of the pod, his wife had a shotgun. He placed the shotgun to his head, and he's like, just do it, because at that point, when you start losing your humanity, you just say, fuck it. So it's just at one of those things. Oh, no, it's all right. You're good, Starflame. Scanners. For being the movie there, we got Scanners. Okay, wait, is that Scanners? That's actually a familiar one. Is that Is that the one with Edward Furlong? Psychobilly Band did a song version about the flag. Ooh. I think Scanners, that's the one with Edward Furlong, I believe. Scanners. Fiction, horror. Let me see. I'm thinking that it's Edward Furlong. No. I'm thinking something different here. No, Scanners is completely different. I have not seen this. Though I think the horror movie I was looking for is that there's this kid who actually has like a video game, and this video game, it's like a video game master that's behind this, and he pretty much projects himself to the reality, and that's basically how the horror begins when he actually like activates that. But no, I've seen one particular Scanners where a guy just like spontaneously combusts after like some confrontation with this one man in particular. But that was the only scene that I've seen. But no, I thought that was the one with Edward Furlong, but that's completely different. Let's see. Edward Furlong horror. Let me see what the movie I was looking at. I did not even know he was in Pet Sematary too. That was actually Brain Scan. Okay, it was the movie Brain Scan. That's the horror movie that I actually recall with Edward Furlong, was Brain Scan. I didn't know there was a Pet Sematary 2 regarding Edward Furlong, which, by the way, he makes a cameo in, I guess, well, a pretty much a CGI face cameo in the new Terminator, by the way, so, yeah. He was also in Aftermath with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's pretty new, well, to me. He was also in American History X with Edward Norton. I remember that. Night of the Demons. I've seen that. He's been in a lot of horror movies. Below Zero, Visitation, Awakening, Warriors of Terra, The Covenant, American Conjuring. Wow. Even in Dark Reel. Holy crap. This guy's been... Because the first appearance that I've noticed Edward Furlong was from Detroit Rock City. So, there's that. Oop. Thank you. And that, oop. Busting my balls. Oh, thank you, by the way. I actually have, like, a vest on because I just felt like it. It's weird. Michael Ironstein has a scene. The guys. See, I saw a picture of that on Google, and I was like wondering, like, what the hell happened? A Bronx Tale. Yes, I've seen that one. I don't remember the guy's name, but basically, a guy, or when he started out as a kid, he pretty much he kind of grew up idolizing this man who kind of lived this gangster lifestyle. But this guy who lived a gangster lifestyle thought that it was best for the kid to be living a better life than rather than the kind of crowd that he was hanging out with. And he even gave the advice to the kid that when a lady, doesn't matter what color of her skin was, that if the lady opens the door on the other side, that means like she's like the one like you should go with. And she does in this African American girl that he's in love with does just that, and it's like yes. But unfortunately, in real life, the same guy who also played in The Sopranos, who took, and I'm not to be going into spoiler territory here, but he portrayed a man who attempted to murder one of Tony Soprano's nephews in the show of The Sopranos, which Tony Soprano, who was also portrayed from James Gandolfini. But for the other man who attempted to do an assassination in the series, in real life, though, he was arrested for pretty much accessory to murder. One man who committed the murder, he was also an accessory to it, and he ended up doing about 10 to possibly 15 years. So I'm not sure, but he's been out of prison for quite a little bit of a while. So that's what I do remember about him. But that's where I know him particularly from 2. Narducci, yes, the name does strike familiar. And I know Joe Pesci made a small appearance at the very end too. So, Russian blue, Russian some sort of gray cat, I guess. Mystic River. Dude, the current cat from the current Pet Cemetery, I like how there's a picture of him wearing a tie and he's posing with the actors and actresses like, you know, I want to be, like, I'm a part of this too. It's like, I'm a part of the cast. Like, you know, get a picture of me too. Which is, it's cute at the same time and it's also like, dude, it's gold. Movie cinema history. Okay. Harold and Maude. Alright. Going to be delving into some serious territory here because I gotta go back and recover the subject matter. Because chances are I'm probably gonna be flooded on Twitter with people defending RSN. To some people, I'm gonna be an asshole. Some people, okay, cool. But again, to most, I'm going to be an asshole to some people. So, brace yourself. Dun, dun, dun. But first, let's see what this dude is currently doing. Because I gave this dude fair warning back in the day. Didn't accept the warning, and then he fell into abyss. Alright, so nothing new yet. Raging Reynolds. Okay, cool. Of course, there's vacuuming going on downstairs, so if you hear that loud noise, I do apologize. Alright, while that's loading, Harold and Maude. I have not seen Harold and Maude. Okay, nothing yet. So, kind of surprised. Monkey? She's somewhere around on the other side of my room, so she's still doing good. Okay. Atticus, are you still here by any chance? I'm supposed to do this, but I need to make sure. Edward Snowden, isn't that the Edward Snowden, isn't that technically, from what I recall, the whistleblower, I believe, Edward Snowden? Or am I thinking of something completely different here? Okay. I think he was portrayed by, not Edward Norton, I'm sorry, I was going to say Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think that's the person who portrayed him in Into Accordance with Real Life. Cat Stevens did the soundtrack for Harold and Maude. Gotcha. Atticus, get your fat ass over here. Everyone's gonna miss them strong arms you got there. Everyone wants to see you, and I got a basement full of popsicles for you if you want to come on over. People reacting in 3, 2, 1. To be honest, I haven't seen enough of Edward Snowden to make that conclusion. I just do know that there was a movie which covered the whistleblowing incidents show. I just know enough that there is basically an event of a whistleblower. I don't know enough about that, so I can't really make that conclusion until I watch the movie. So, which is why I'm going to be making a list of movies that I definitely need to watch according to that. Oh, he's probably doing that. It's all good. Shoot. Because I can actually do guest calling through Facebook Messenger since I do not have a mobile device and that my streaming area is not working through YouTube via. So until I get that fixed, I'm going to be doing that through Facebook, or I can do that through you now. So that's basically how we're going to run things around here just until we get the matter settled. You know what? I can actually just message him. I've definitely seen Ned's Declassified before. I've seen that when I was in my teens. It was an okay show, in my opinion. All right, I'm gonna message him right now. Enter, damn it! My message, that is. There we go. Maybe he is summoning a spell of some sorts. I mean, it is, you know, the month of Halloween, as it is October. Speaking of which, I had a childhood fear. Since we're actually in the month of horror. What was that? Oh, never mind. Since we are in the month of horror, I think it'd be a good idea. I had a childhood fear. It was from Scooby-Doo. And I figured, I'm not afraid of it anymore, but I figured I'd wear a childhood fear that I had on my denim jacket. So this happens to be one of my favorite villains from Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? From the first season. So the Phantom Shadow was always my favorite villain, yet it scared me because of the way that he laughed and the way that he moved in the cartoon series. And that brings me to an idea that why don't we... Maybe this idea was somewhat done before, like, because with the newer cast with, you know, Matthew Lillard and others portraying the current roles of Shaggy, and other actors portraying the others. But I think, why not go back to the exact format and cartoon style of Scooby-Doo, or the older cartoons for that matter, but like a new episode, but in that exact same format and that exact same kind of animation, and just dub the voices to make it sound like, there you go, like, have newer episodes that look exactly like the 1969 version. I'm not talking about make it look like Mystery Inc. Incorporated. I mean, like, make it look like the 1960s version of Scooby-Doo with newer episodes. Hell, maybe even an episode before the first one explaining, you know, because they say in the first episode, it looks like we're up in our armor plates and another mystery. But what was the mystery before that one? We don't know. The What a Night for a Night episode in Scooby-Doo was the actual first episode, but they do mention before that this was not in fact their first mystery. They did something like this in an actual, like, live movie, but the formula was different though. And yes, I've seen The Lost Boys with Corey Feldman. And I even seen the second one, which they actually had a comic book which covered the first one, so it's kind of weird how they did that too. Carl plays Velma. Wait, is she the one who played Velma in the 2000 version series? Because she's also in Avengers, I believe. Avengers Endgame. Christian Slater. People said I looked like Christian Slater too. It's weird. No! Fudge. Okay, there we go. So, noodles.
What up?
Okay. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to be a guest speaker. Ow. Sorry. Well, I just messaged him right now, so he just responded, so. Yes, I want to see the comments. What do you mean? Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Calling right now. I want to see if this works. Bring forth Atticus. There we go. Okay, calling right now. Let's see if this works. Did it work? Did it work? Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Gotcha. Can I hear you?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Atticus the Death Metaler on the ThrashMetalGuru channel. This is actually his guest appearance here. So I want you all to give him a greeting and warm welcome because I actually love when I have guests here.
Awesome sauce.
My last guest was Lodo Drando, and now my second guest right here is Atticus the Death Metaler, who will be doing the dramatic reading for Halloween. So, every time I mention Halloween, I get that little ooh-hoo-hoo. But
Funny you mentioned the dramatic reading. Well, it was actually just very, 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 just all of a sudden last minute. I just thought of it last week when I was like working at my new job at like around 7 in the morning, because like my job requires me to work at like, you know, god awful 5 to, I've only worked one shift from like 5 till 3 p.m. in the morning. And then like, you know, it's mostly just like 6 a.m. to like 2 or 3 p.m. in the morning. So 3 p.m. in the night. So I don't know. It's just, my mind's a little bit scrambled right now, but you get the gist.
yeah,
So,
I got you.
I was like thinking of something because I'm like, okay, so I did a Death Metaler Cinemas episode on Halloween with Ranford and Shades. What could I do? Like, what could I fucking do to make up for a Halloween special? Because I've done one Halloween special in 2015 where I try to make a lot of you do like a jump scare Japanese tire commercial. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do like a dramatic reading of like all the obnoxious tweets that Onision has made, including all the BDSM tweets and stuff. And so like when Shades told me like when I was doing this project, he's like, oh, I think you're not going to get all those tweets because Onision completely privatized his entire Twitter. I'm like, Nikwa. I looked through all the Google images.
Oh, hold on one second.
That was what I did, and along with like lolcow and Reddit sources. So I looked through all of the tweets and stuff that was saved by lolcow and Reddit and Google images. Also through the YouTuber Elise, who did a lot of the BDSM tweets that I'm using onto this dramatic reading I'm doing on that dramatic reading. So that's what's going to go down. I'm obviously going to like credit Elise and also Miss London for inspiring me to do this dramatic reading right here.
Oh, dude, and the fact that even Chris Hansen is also on this is too. It's basically like, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mentioned it into my video as well. So I want to let everyone know that I'm very, very, very caught up onto the whole subject, onto the matter. Like, I mean, people are going to say, well, have you watched all the stuff onto Blair White and Red? I'm like, dude, I have been caught up onto this shit. And look, dude, I'm the kind of guy, like, I mean, I know you, Justin, and the other people in the random community who have made a plethora of videos on Onision. I'm that kind of guy that just, like, stands idly by, watches them stuff, and doesn't want to, like, get into the mix. I've only made 2 videos on the whole Onision debacle. But after the stuff with Sarah, I felt like that, you know, I might as well talk about it along with the dramatic reading that I'm doing, because I put onto a little hint as what I've said onto my last video on Onision with the whole forum stuff. He's like looking for an underage girl that is a lot more attractive than Lainey. No offense to Lainey. And you know what? And like, I don't care if you people call her Kyra or something. I'm still calling her fucking Lainey. Even though she's like some non-binary special snowflake, I'm still calling her fucking Lainey. Like, the fact that all the stuff with Sarah, I'm like, I'm a self-fulfilling prophet. Put that shit onto my video. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So even though the stream's not really about Onion though, but I like the part that we actually have all of our contributing efforts. And here's the thing with me is that yeah, I've made a conundrum of videos like that before, but two things in particular that I also needed to also bring up is that I took down some of the ones that I felt like yeah it just didn't hold up any substance, and I did say I would stop making these videos, and which I have stopped. But there is one thing I do need to go over on this stream too, and I'm at fault for this. So a friend of mine gave me an email to basically Greg's personal email as well too. But another person who I've known, and he made the mistake by giving me some mixed information. So to even my worst enemy, including the guys like Greg, I'm gonna at least be the bigger man to this. But this is only going so far, by the way. To apologize for just a few particular things that I got wrong. Because yes, this guy has done a lot of bad shit, and yes, I think he needs to pay the price for it. But at least for me to, because I sent the email, and I'm pretty sure, like I went over it, and it's like, oh wait a minute, yeah, from what I gathered, I got the wrong information, so I need to apologize about this. I sent an email personally to the Onion himself because he was still portraying, he was using a poor idea of a parody of people, mocking them about their use of marijuana and then the use of abortion. Then also, I ended up receiving mixed information about a miscarriage. I forgot that it was Shiloh who had the miscarriage, and it was. I don't want to bring Billy's situation of her. Like I know about her, but I had the situation mixed up together. So it was something to do in regards to a healthy lifestyle that pretty much she was going through. So I even said to Onion himself, I mixed the abortion and the miscarriage thing, and I put that on Billy, which that was not true. Which again, I made the mistake of that, so I got that wrong. But other than that, that's the only thing I can apologize for. The fact that everything else that I stood behind, I can stand behind. But that was the only thing that I made the mistake on, was I had mixed information. I have to own up to that, and I'm sorry for that. But apologies only go so far, though. But I was sick and tired of the parodies that he was doing. I don't make videos on this anymore, and I'm willing to move away from it. But I was just so sick and tired of him making more parodies, mocking people like Shiloh, mocking people like Billy all the damn time. Because you know what, me and Billy are actually good friends. She does shout outs for me also on Instagram too. So, and you know, she's been talking to me on Twitter and sometimes on Instagram as well. So kind of pisses me off when he keeps going on the tirade about her sometimes. So that's pretty much all I really just needed to cover. So
yeah. Like I know that you are still keeping in touch with Billie Eilish. Now, to all the Billie Eilish fans, I'm calling her Billie Eilish. It's not an offense to Billie. It's just like it's just a little joke, a little inside joke I made for myself. But like, when it comes to the Onision Billy, that's what I'm gonna do as well. But I mean, I understand that you kept in good touch with Billy as well, and I respect that. But like, the fact that what Onision did to Billy is like comparable to that with Shiloh and Sky, with the new evidence.
oh yeah.
Brought up onto with what Rep brought out onto the kitchen table as well, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of just evidence showing on how scummy, and you know, most of the stuff I'm just like, you know, it's just stuff that I've already known about this guy. So I mean, a lot of people were just thrown in the dark. But then with the whole stuff with Sarah,
Yeah.
like I mean, like it was early the year, it was going on, and then it just died down. But then like September came around, and then it just blew back the fuck up, and I'm just like, you know what? I was right. I was really right about the whole stuff involving, like, the whole forum, because, like, let's just face it. I mean, both of us can agree that Greg was, in some ways, getting lazy and bored and tired over Lainey. And she was getting a little bit older, so he wanted to go for something younger and more attractive, and just more, a little bit, you know, just a little bit more, you could manipulate and stuff, and just mold and shit like that, until at the right young age of 18, slam dunked her.
Oh yeah, and basically with everything, and have people sign these NDAs, especially at an age that wasn't even properly notarized at that time as well too. It's just strange. But now we fast forward all the way, then we got Real Stream News trying to use merch, which this was yesterday, by the way. So even though the fact that this entire scenario is kind of swapped, it doesn't really kind of change the safe face. Went over this in the very beginning of the stream, but we'll bring it back up so that way we're caught up in the matter. That Real Stream News decided to do. Was sell merch that had Kai's face on it, and the original title of it said "Grooming You Nicely," which was said from YouTube. He was trying to sell these shirts. There was apparently a confrontation, I guess, between maybe Sarah or maybe someone who called him out for the shirts. He apologized, I guess, but the fact that the majority of people are saying that, you know, even though you apologized, that still does not mean shit because you got caught doing something you weren't supposed to do. If you go to the site right now, it's a little bit different because he has Kai's face on the shirt still, and it says like Lainey or Kai is crying, which doesn't really absolve anything because for one, you're still making the money off the merchandise. I even had someone who was arguing with me is that, oh, I'm calling Real Stream News out even though I'm making like what? Barely anything by even if the video like this is monetized or a live stream is monetized, calling RSN out for what he's doing. So I just found it weird because RSN is the same person who I warned about in case of Joy Sparkles, because Joy Sparkles was that yeah. I think we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, and on to Wood Sparkle, like, I think we both made the mistake of just promoting her ass onto both our channels. I mean, my last video I made on Onision, I gave a shout out to Joy Sparkle BS onto, like, you know, making all these videos on Onision, and, you know, looking back onto the videos that Repsion made, I'm like, well, excuse me, shit. I made a mistake.
Yeah, me, you, I'm not sure if Repsion was.
Stout mate promoted her on Daddy 05.
Yeah, we all had a hand on promoting her, which was one of my biggest sins. It was something I definitely regret, and the fact that I got verbally jumped by a lot of her fans for calling her out with the obsessiveness. And the thing about it is that the more I look at this, you know, via Twitter or YouTube, is that yes, I have been talking about Onision a lot and a lot and a lot. But the thing about it, Matt, the thing with this is that everyone actually has a say in this. Like, everyone legitimately has a say in this because it affects everyone and everything around. Sarah was that person who basically Sarah was basically the person that told everyone, hey, look what this effort did. She brought everything out to place and everyone was up in arms, and rightfully so. The difference, though, was that with Joy, she wasn't doing it for the legitimate reasons, though. She wasn't doing it for the purpose of actually bringing awareness to it. And that's what made me mad. That's what made a lot of other people mad. And the fact that we had this falling out, it really sucked. So, George Sparkle BS.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I get you with there. Like, for personally, for me, like, Joy Sparkle, like, from my personal perspective on seeing all this stuff with Joy Sparkle, she was just like she was obviously there for the money. We can all agree she was there for the money, but she was just the most obsessive cunt.
Yeah.
We have ever seen. Ever. Like, I mean, like, I know you've made videos on Onision, But like, dude, I think we can both agree that your videos on Onision was just like very small, pale in comparison
Yeah,
to that of some guys. I mean, some guy made a plethora of videos on Onision, but even he will admit that the stuff that Joy Sparkle made, that what some guy made on like a couple of years on Onision, it pales over him.
yeah,
Pales the fuck over him.
yeah.
So
Because
like every little
go ahead.
minute detail that Onision does on YouTube, Joy just goes, I'm making a video. I'm making a video. I'm making a video. I'm making a video. It's like
she
dude,
like
big.
she constantly
Close that.
she constantly made over Gregory. She constantly made him over Daddy 05. What was there was a third one too? She constantly made over and over.
Austin Jones and
That
Peter
one.
Mall.
Austin Jones was the other one too, and I didn't know about the Peter Mall one, but like Austin Jones was the third one. But she made like day after day or minute by minute. It was nuts. I was like, I made a lot of videos. This is actually particularly one of those reasons why I took down a lot of my own Onision videos, because first of all, it's not worth it, and I don't want to be the complete obsessive person. And again, this stream is not mainly about that. This is just because this is just stuff that I just wanted to get out and we just want to hang out. But we were talking about movies and all that stuff, which is cool. So we should do that a little bit more often. Which, by the way, Atticus, if you get a chance, did you actually see the Joker movie?
I did.
Okay, there. I can tell you how to actually get that Joker face. By the way, on an app, if you ever.
Where on? I you on Snapchat.
It's on an app called Photo.ai. Don't do any subscription. Just skip all of that. Just go to the Halloween stuff, and then just
on the phone.
Yeah, like just go to the App Store and look for Photo AI.
Oh, dude, like if you just skip onto the Onision board and just talk about Joker,
Yeah,
fucking great.
Let's do that. I mean, let's just skip over that then, because you know what? I think we've delved too much into that, and we've basically covered everything. And
oh yeah, because like I mean, I've made my video Crucifixion of the Mainstream Media Part 7 onto my channel, but I just really want to just say this: that film, when I watched it with my friends, that film, I've never felt so emotionally driven and also emotionally dark and hollow after watching a film like that, because there are so many things I could relate to when I was a teenager, as well as like this year. It just correlated together, and it was like a film for a cathartic feeling, a therapeutic feeling for me. That's how it was for me. And the fact that the mainstream media, and this is what really makes me laugh, is that the mainstream media is saying, "Oh, this film's gonna be, promoting incel violence and shit."
it had nothing to do with that, though.
But when you see plethoras of articles and articles and articles over, like, this one guy that had the same condition that Arthur Fleck had in the movie, it just really shows on how it relates to people who struggle with mental illness on a daily fucking basis, but also to people who struggle with like poverty, as well as like learning disabilities and depression. It relates so many people, and the fact that you are just gaslighting film like that, it just shows where your morals are at.
See, what I loved about this movie was. Oh, hold on. Are you still there, Atticus?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I just heard like a beeping. So what I love about the Joker movie is that when you're looking at a person who he wasn't really more like a villain in the movie until like possibly like towards the end, because you're looking at a man who's just tormented. Everyone in the movie is a dick, and I'm not going to use spoilers, and I mean literally everybody. And when I mention people from the Wayne residence, I mean everyone from the Wayne residence is a complete dick. That even goes for certain Mr. A. He was a complete dick. Like, I thought Jeremy Irons Alfred was disappointing, but
Dude,
wait, what?
it was a playing as Alfred Pennyworth.
He wasn't Alfred?
No, I was just saying, like, you know, the dude who
Oh,
Bruce Wayne off of the Arthur. He was like the guy playing as Alfred.
gotcha. Okay, I heard that wrong. I was like, wait a minute, it's like that's not Alfred. What?
Yeah,
But
dude, like, yeah, Prozac.
But like, I think this is the Joker that I think Margaret Robbie's Harley Quinn should have been with. I think that would have been the perfect relationship. Like a non
Correction, it's Margot.
Margot. I'm sorry, Margot. My apologies.
I say that because I went to high school with a girl below my grade who was named Margot. I'm not going to name her last name, but she was a really, 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 really nice and sweet friend of mine. But, you know, Margot. Hi.
Joke like Joaquin Phoenix Joker deserves. Can you say the name again?
Margot.
Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I think those two would have been perfect for each other, despite the fact that Jared Leto getting so pissed off.
That Jared Leto's salty.
Like I respect the dude because I think he can act. Don't get me wrong. I respect him a lot. It's just
yeah, like I like him in 30 Seconds to Mars.
But, like,
it's like
sorry, but
take the L.
hey, Shades, how you doing, man? But I really think that Joaquin Phoenix Joker and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn would be like perfect for each other because I think that would have been Arthur's perfect love life right there. I think that is the
Unlike Domino.
dude. But
I like Domino. It's just, I mean, she's very attractive biracial crowd. Like the actress who plays the woman in a Joker. I mean, she also played Domino in Deadpool 2.
oh yeah. She's Domino, the one with the round white eye around her that actually also ends up coming.
Domino.
Yeah. Yeah, Atticus is with me, by the way, Shades. But like, and Joaquin Phoenix is definitely considering a sequel. But like, what's really kind of confusing for me is that how are they going to pull this off? Especially since we're going to have Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, which I'm not against that. Robert Pattinson
Same here.
He's been trying to dig himself out of the whole Twilight thing ever since, and he's got a current movie coming out, which is like what the Lighthouse, which I might go see.
It just came out. It is with William Dafoe. I plan on seeing it, and I hear it's really good, so I might see it later. It's like a Irish sort of folklore horror film, and it's like set in black and white. So it's pretty good. I mean, like A24 stuff. It's been quite. My friends from Europe say that like Midsommar was like portrayed horribly because they celebrate Midsommar in a very decent way. But I mean, it's like a horror film. But some of them get way too red pill-ish, as in like Jews. Stuff. You get with what I'm saying?
Yeah, I give a shit what you're saying. But
I loved Hereditary. Hereditary is such a good horror film. Like probably one of the best horror films I've ever seen in the 2010s. Since the fact that horror is getting a little bit stale and like superhero films are like all the flick and shit. So a film like Hereditary and a film like Lighthouse is just a breath of fresh air, not to mention a breath of fresh air onto Robert Pattinson's career, along with William Dafoe.
And also, speaking of which also brings me back to like a confusing thing is how are they going to make this work with a second Joker sequel, which they've been talking about doing, which Joaquin Phoenix is definitely considering, but how is this going to work now? Because like Well, I don't want to give what I mean. We all know this is all. It's always going to be in a DC story if it's revolving Joker or revolving something around Batman. We know this, but spoiler alert for anyone watching. If you want to plug your ears, do it right now because I'm about to say it. But how is this gonna work with Bruce Wayne growing up to be Batman and then facing off against like the Joker, because the Joker is gonna be like really old by then,
Yeah, like in his like 60s or something.
unless they add some supernatural element or some scientific element that, like, say for example, like some serum makes him kind of like young again, and he kind of like, which I'm not sure about supernatural elements, but like this is the Joker after all. We haven't really expanded, into this recent lore of the Joker, so we don't exactly know everything that goes on. So, and not to mention with Robert Pattinson's Batman version coming up, like I really want that to work out, because I would definitely like to see what this Bruce Wayne's Batman would definitely be like.
I mean, without a doubt. I mean, like, I grew up with Kevin Conroy's Batman in the animated series. Like, without a doubt, all of us grew up on Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Like, I mean, like, I wasn't invested in comics. I just really invested myself into the animated series. But like, I'm still very curious to see on how Robert Pattinson will go on as Batman. I mean, obviously, all of us really loved Christian Bale as Batman. Like, without a doubt. I mean, I will say Christian Bale was one of the best Batmans. I mean, all of us will say that, like, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Mark Hamill, and recently Joaquin Phoenix, they nailed it. I also forgot the very old guy who played Joker, correct me, and all that shit.
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero, yeah. Yes. So, I mean, all those Jokers, and I'm sorry, Jared Leto, but, you kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah, it's like, it's no offense to Jared Leto, but I'm just sorry. It's just the Joker was not convincing. But here's one thing that I forgot, and I might actually theorize, and this kind I think I'm hypothesizing that they're possibly going to be taking the Gotham route. The Gotham series.
Yeah, I never really invested in Gotham.
Well, there was two different Jokers. I mean, well, technically three, but the two was definitely the same person. Becoming a more sick and twisted Joker. But like, there was two different ones. There was one person I think he was played by Jeremiah, and there was another person that was played by Jeremy or something like that. There was technically two different ones. They were brothers. And one of them wasn't like the clown, but he actually had like the scars like to his lips, and he actually had this carnival looking look. And then he had a younger brother who would eventually become the actual Joker, who would be Batman's arch nemesis. What I'm thinking is that they're possibly going to take a route with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker being the original one, who might actually have some sort of passing on to somebody who makes him become like the Batman's enemy. Like, this is a different Joker he's going to pass it on to. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but because that's the only way so far that I'm going to see how this Joker thing is probably going to work out, if it actually has Bruce Wayne growing up to be Batman and he faces off against Joker who's like close to his age.
It's funny you mention that, because I'm watching Scream right now, and like with every Scream, there's always like a new killer. So, like, I mean, like, with what you said with Gotham is pretty accurate when it comes to, like, the Joker. So, like, I mean, you could see that with, like, another person just taking the influence of the Joker and then just manifesting to, like, their version of the Joker for Batman to fight off. So that's with what, that's gonna go on, if you get with what I'm trying to say here. Because if you watch Scream movies, I mean, the first Scream movie, it was Stu, I forget his last name, but it was the main antagonist with Billy Loomis. Then you had Mickey Altieri and Billy's mom in Scream 2. And in Scream 3, you had Roman Bridger as the main architect of the whole Scream franchise, and then you at Scream 4 for some reason you had annoying ass I forgot her fucking ass name, but I really hate her like voice, but like she plays as Cindy Prescott's niece in Scream 4.
Oh, was that Courtney Cox or whatnot?
No. Courtney
Oh
Cox,
no,
Gail Weathers.
no,
I mean, I like Courtney Cox.
no,
She's still a dime.
because
She's a milf. She's a cougar.
I know in the Scream franchise, Jay and Silent Bob actually make a cameo in the franchise too, which is actually something that I kind of like caught with Courtney Cox.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Jane Silent Bomb did that on Scream 3.
which was awesome. So okay, so here's what I was thinking because I did make a list of this. Like if some of these actors were still alive, also within inclusion to some people, I don't know who would be the new Joker, but like
I'll be right back. We're right back. I'm using the head, so keep on talking.
okay. So what I was thinking is that for Two-Face, that would be William Dafoe. If what was his name? He played in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was crap. He was the main character, the detective, I believe. If anyone can give me the name on that one, I'm really trying to remember. It was fudge. Because the main antagonist of Who Framed Roger Rabbit was by Christopher. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Was it Christopher Brown? No, it's not Christopher Brown. Crap, what was his name? He was also in The Mask 2. Unfortunately, he played Odin, and he also Bob Hoskins. That was his name, Bob Hoskins. I think he would have been perfect for the Penguin. Bob Hoskins as the Penguin would have been the best suit right there. So we would have William Dafoe as Two-Faced, Bob Hoskins as the Penguin, Bryan Cranston as Mr. Freeze. Yes, I threw in a Breaking Bad reference, by the way. So Bryan Cranston as Mr. Freeze, Dave Bautista as Bane, Emma Stone as Poison Ivy. This one's a little hard because I don't know who would play Scarecrow or Mr. Crane. Who would actually be a good Scarecrow? I would actually have to think about that one very carefully because I can't really think of anyone who might be able to do that. Who would be Scarecrow?
Alright, just got back.
Okay, so I made it all the way to Scarecrow, so I'm going to go right back to the list. I'm going to bring Atticus up to date with this. So the list of people that I would actually have, I would have William Dafoe as Two-Face, Bob Hoskins. Wait, what?
William Dafoe as Two-Face?
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Because he had that split personality as Green Goblin, which I think that would work. Bob Hoskins, if he was still alive, I think he would have been perfect for the Penguin.
Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito.
Well, yeah, because he already portrayed the Penguin in the Tim Burton version, though.
Still do it.
Still do it? Okay. Between him and Bob Hoskins, I would still consider the two. But yeah, I'll throw him into the mix to do it again. Bryan Cranston is Mr. Freeze. I think he would be perfect as Mr. Freeze. He's got the personality for it. If he portrays Walter White very well, I think he could use that personality very well as Mr. Freeze. And then we have
another sleeper for Riddler. If you haven't brought him up,
I haven't brought Riddler up yet.
Iwan Rheon.
That one too, or I was thinking Johnny Depp for that one.
That's really good. But I'm just saying, like Iwan Rheon, he played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones and Nick.
Oh fuck yes! Okay, that's even better.
Yeah, so like don't bring in like Jim Carrey. I mean, I love Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
but he played the original Jim Carrey as Riddler. But I'm just saying, like, dude, just let Iwan Rheon play as Riddler.
And then I was thinking Emma Stone for Poison Ivy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, actually, and then I'm kind of two-sided for Aubrey Plaza. Like, what would she play?
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
mean, Margot Robbie is obviously going to be Harley Quinn. I mean,
yeah.
like she's sold it for Harley Quinn.
Uh,
But
so that leaves.
like, the dude who played Killer Croc has sold it for me. It's just like
I think he could make a returning appearance for that too. I like that.
either that or just some like wrestler.
Well, see, I have Dave Bautista as Bane. That's who I actually have for Bane.
Oh yes. I agree with Bane onto that.
Definitely.
But I mean, like John Hardy played phenomenal. As
Yes, no, he played phenomenal as Bane too. I liked that. And now this is I'm actually thinking of two people to play Ra's al Ghul, but like the thing about this one is that I'm thinking of one version as like just like a parody. I was thinking of Ben Stiller, Ben Stiller playing a comedy version of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh God, no.
No. The comedy, like a comedy version, not like an actual version, because I could actually picture him. He could pull off the look from when I imagine it, but like I don't think he would actually pull off the character. But like I think he could definitely pull off the look. But that's only going so far.
You merely adopted the edge. I bred by it.
Oh no! I got one even better.
By it.
You think being transgender is your ally? Well, you merely adopted the dick. I was born with it, molded by it. But anyway.
So you came back to die for your city.
Oh gosh.
I came back to beat your ass for it.
But who? Okay, hold on. You know, I think Sean Connery would have actually made a good Raish. He would have made a good Raish.
Connery's still alive because, like, nigga, if he's still alive, I'm like, dude.
Yeah, no, I know he's still alive. It's just I'm just saying, if he was just a little bit younger, I think he would have actually pulled off the look and the personality, you know, for it. But
who's that guy who's like comparable to like Deadshot? No. Will Smith was pretty good with Deadshot. Who's the other dude in DC that's almost like Deadpool? Because I would definitely see Bradley Cooper as that guy.
Who's almost like Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadshot.
Deadshot. Because was he the same guy who was working with Bane in the Dark Knight Rises?
No.
Okay, no, different guy then. Was it Grifter?
Drifter?
I say Grifter. Yeah, Drifter. I'm sorry. I'm using a different pronunciation.
Let me look it up.
Adrian Brody as Scarecrow. That's not bad. Helena Bonham. That's actually good for Selena Kyle. I could actually go with that.
DC, because I mean, most of the DC villains, I just Grifter. Hold on.
Gotcha. Who would be Hush? So between Joker, Scarecrow, Selena Kyle.
Yeah, I could see Grifter, Bradley Cooper as Grifter.
What was his name?
Or
Oh.
like Jason Todd as, Bradley Cooper as Jason Todd for some reason. I don't know.
Vincent Perez. I think he would make a good Scarecrow.
Hold on, let me look at him. Vincent Perez. What roles was he at?
Well, he did play. He played the Crow. He played Ash from the Crow City of Angels. I think he would. Well, I can't say the Joker, but I was gonna think more of Scarecrow because he's been in more a little bit of some.
Oh! So he didn't do the OG Crow.
Yeah, he was one of the OGs. Like I think he did a fantastic job in the Crow City of Angels. I love Crow City of Angels in my opinion.
Okay.
Despite it being a corporate sellout of a movie, I still loved it because Vincent Perez, like, I was sold on his performance. I loved it. And if I had to say anything, I think Iggy Pop. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going this right. Iggy Pop might actually make a good Joker.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like Joaquin Phoenix with gender identity problems and a midlife crisis, I mean, I will say, yeah, Iggy Pop would have sold it.
Iggy Pop as well too for that, and then that just leaves Hush and then Selena Kyle or as Catwoman.
Who's as Selena Kyle?
There was one that we had Helena Bonham Carter as Selena Kyle.
I don't see her as Catwoman, honestly.
Yeah, that was from Chelsea. That was her nomination.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, she's wrong. She's wrong.
Okay, let me think of one. I was gonna think Aubrey Plaza, but like, nah, that's not gonna do. Okay, wait. Who was Scott Pilgrim's girlfriend? Not Knives. Scott. Who played?
Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, she played Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers. She's playing in the new film with Margot Robbie and Birds of Prey.
So that's not gonna happen though. Shit. Okay. We already know who's playing. We know.
She's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's a very good role for Catwoman, but I'm just like, looking at the stuff that Aubrey Plaza, she's really good.
Yeah.
I'm just, personally for me, this is just, a complete bias, but I'm just saying right here, right now, Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek. Okay. Wait a minute. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She's like in her 50s. She's still got it.
I really think Catherine Zeta-Jones might actually still.
I definitely agree with her.
Definitely.
With you on there. I mean, she's still got it as well. I'm just like, dude, like just give Robert Pattinson the MILFs.
Okay, so you know how we brought up Ramsey Bolton being the Riddler? It brought me to another. I think this would be a good idea for Kit Harington to actually play Hush.
Oh, wait, as the Riddler?
Well, no. Kit Harington. I think he would actually be like Hush. That's. I think that would be his initial character. Or he could actually play like a young Alfred because he's got the accent for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be perfect for him.
Like I was like thinking like, dude, like Kit Harington would have been a good
Maynard James Keenan.
Maynard James Keenan for what?
For Joker.
Oh Jesus.
Megan. No, Megan Fox. No, Megan Fox. No. Unless
I will indeed say that Amelia Clarke, I think, would be a good Catwoman as well.
I think she'd be like a good Killer Frost.
Killer Frost?
Yeah.
Amelia Clarke?
Yeah, Amelia Clarke is Killer Frost. I think she would actually do good more with the puns too. Oh wait. Okay. So if I were to have the Robins back, if I would actually have like the Bat family, because we obviously know we're gonna have Robert Patterson, but if I were to have the Bat family with the three Robins, not counting Damian Wayne, because I despise Damian Wayne with every fiber of my being. I would have like if you had Robert Patterson, like if you were able to actually like facially like change the CGI of his face to make him look a lot older, I would have Keanu Reeves as Nightwing. I would have
Keanu Reeves
as Nightwing. Yes. I would definitely have Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Red Robin.
Of course. I mean, he was in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah, but like you could still bring, because if you're gonna bring Danny DeVito back from the Tim Burton version, you can still do that with another one too. And then
I'm still vouching for like Amelia Clarke to get some dicking by Robert Pattinson.
Okay, this is actually a long shot, but like if you had Matt Heafy from Trivium playing as Red Hood, I would be super stoked.
That's a long shot. That is like a way ass shot.
But like he looks like he would be one of the Robins along with Keanu Reeves and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Keanu.
I say I don't know. I come from the South. I got a weird pronunciation when it comes to people.
Okay. All right, that's good. I won't like grammar Gestapo on you.
Nah,
Like that is what shit.
it's all good. I'm used to like when I get my balls busted. I'm used to it.
Like me.
That sounded a bit like Joker and Salacious Crumb from Star Wars.
Oh, really? I was trying to do my. I was doing a little bit subtle because my folks were sleeping and my dad is like sleeping in my little brother's room because like my mom has to get up early for like workouts and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like I have to be at work at 7. So like I'm gonna be here for a little while.
Gotcha. Oh, now which brings me to my next thing. Who is going to be the next Superman?
Oh God. Oh geez, because Henry Cavill just dropped that role off to be Geralt of Rivia. I've explained it onto my video I made last year called Henry of Rivia. Like, I mean, the dude has been really invested into the Witcher series, both in the books and the video games. But it's like, I mean, I've seen some of the trailers, but I also have to remind myself that Triss Marigold and Yennefer were like ugly ass bitches before they became hot ass bitches with some spells. That's why like Geralt was plowing the shit out of both of them.
Hold on, my chat thing is like not working with me. So
Like, I mean, when I play the Wild Hunt, I always like romance the shit out of Yennefer. But like every time, I'm just like, don't romance Triss, even though she's got a nice ass rack. You're friends with her. It's like it is the biggest fucking torture ever. I'm just like, damn it.
so like when we got all the we had we've got a bunch of DC and pretty much actors that would actually fit into these roles. And like I like every single one of them that we had. The one with the one who played Ramsay Bolton, which I think that was a terrific idea, by the way. So yeah,
He was really good as the Mick Mars and Dirt, but I can understand why that Jeff Tremaine wanted him to be like, I respect all the female sex in all of our species because of like on how he was like brutal and sadistic as fuck in Game of Thrones. So like he wanted to be like friendly to and respectful to the women. So I was like, okay, I understand why. But in truth, Mick Mars was also a shagger along with Nikki Sixx, Vince Neil, and Tommy Lee. So he was not a saint.
Which also brings me to D&D because they also canceled the idea of making a Star Wars series, which thank God.
I found out about that. I'm just like, there's no way. Like after season 8, I'm just like, you guys,
like good luck.
You guys are done.
Which like it's good for me because now I can actually continue writing my fan story because I feared that what they were gonna do was just gonna interfere with like the story that I'm making because like the new release for Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is basically in the same ties as what they were making the series, it's basically in the same exact universe. Is that the new series that came out for Onslaught, which I ended up completing. It's terrific in my opinion, but really wish that there was some light-sided decisions because I usually play as a Sith warrior, by the way, like a light-sided Sith.
Long live the Sith.
Wait, what?
Long live the Sith.
But the thing is, I'm really trying. Like they actually have you where you can sabotage your own allegiance to the Empire, which that's what I'm doing because I'm actually trying to transition my Sith warrior, who's a complete light Sith, like he's like to the light side. I'm trying to transition him over because there's a new chapter coming out where the Emperor comes back even though after you killed him and stuff, and he's pretty much possessing all of these Jedi. And I'm really hoping that the character that I have becomes like he fully transitions into a good person, which in some ways he is, but like he's still I know he's still sabotaging the Empire from the decisions that I've made. But like I really wish he could transition into a complete good person because I'm working for the Republic according to that part of the story. But I feel like those decisions aren't really becoming a little bit more impactful than what I had realized. So again, I'm still a Sith, but like I'm aiding the Republic, which is weird for me. Is like, can I just transition to a Jedi now? Can I just do that? I mean, I run an alliance, I run a command of my own, and so the Empire thinks I'm helping them when I'm actually sabotaging them. It's like, come on, can we just transition this, please? Because I've been waiting for a long time to actually become like a good guy. I went from a full blown Sith who ended up killing his own master, now becoming like risen to the ranks of the Emperor's Wrath, and now demoted to that title, becoming a commander or an outlander to a complete different empire, now becoming a general and a commander to an entire allegiance of Jedi and Sith and all these other people, and I can finally sabotage and defect from the Empire, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough. But like, come on, like I think what would definitely change if you made that complete change where I can be a complete different, like a good guy person, but I can still like be on the Empire server because technically, if you're a Sith warrior, you're going to be in a different server from like the Republic side. But like that would be so cool. I could finally become a good guy because my character is basically a Kenobi, and I'm trying to transition that Sith into a Jedi because it's like 3,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, even though it's not considered canon, and I'm going off on a tirade here, but my character is basically a Kenobi, and I'm trying to attach that Kenobi legacy to 3,000 years of generations that go to that, which makes it feel appropriate because they have the Rise of Skywalker coming out, which I feel like that feels like it's the perfect opportunity to write a story. But yet, I'm taking my opportunity to write a Western story, which I'm 50 pages in, by the way. Not even.
Like, I'm gonna stop you right there because I am not gonna be seeing the Rise of Skywalker till it comes out on Netflix. I am not spending like a good chunk of money onto that shit after watching The Last Jedi.
Which I'm not sure if the news reports were actually accurate because they said that J.J. Abrams wasn't going to fix anything about what the Last Jedi did.
I meant like his last name was like Ryan something.
Rian Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson. Dude, that Nikwa fucked everything. I mean, like, I know a lot of people say, oh, the prequels, like, really destroyed my love for Star Wars. I'm like, dude, it was The Last Jedi. It was the last fucking Jedi.
Okay.
It completely destroyed my love and my love for Star Wars.
Indeed.
I mean, like as I explained it onto my Game of Thrones video, like Star Wars, like was my early childhood and shit, and then like you Nick was just fucked it all up.
Well, here's the thing, though, and I think J.J. Abrams actually may have found the solutions. That may be stretching a lot here, but the solutions actually may be good here because the reports weren't exactly accurate. They said that J.J. Abrams wasn't going to fix any of this, but in other terms, he kind of actually did. He actually put in the trailer Rey. They actually, for once, didn't really just show her. And this is no disrespect to Daisy. It's no disrespect to Daisy Ridley for playing Rey, but they actually show her training, which is one thing that they actually got right now because she's working on trying to like increase her character to become something more worthy, so that way people can actually see, okay, she's definitely working towards a goal to be a better Jedi. Okay, cool. That's the one thing that J.J. Abrams fixed according to the trailer. But they also now actually have it. They actually implemented a original scene that was supposed to be in the Return of the Jedi. They finally implemented it. The only thing that they changed is that the Emperor's throne room is actually in this like ice sort of world, and it was supposed to be in a lava world, which Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader are supposed to be before the Emperor in this lava-filled throne where the Emperor's sitting. They did exactly that, but they just changed the setting and the environment to where it's ice, which is perfect because this is kind of like almost exactly how the Old Republic did with the Emperor, who was called Valkorion, but he goes by many names. So it feels like it's pulling off the Old Republic's kind of a vision towards it. Like it's one empire here, but they actually bring back some good things. And I really think that even if this movie, and let me just point this out to anyone watching in particular, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan or an SJW, I don't care. Let me tell you something. Even if this movie doesn't exceed the great expectations, at least we looked at something that Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and a whole lot of others have been in, and they've actually still inspired us to watch something cool. Yeah, Carrie Fisher has always been a crush of mine ever since the Slave Leia thing. I'm not guilty of. Oh yeah,
Without a
giggity.
doubt. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, but all in all, even if this movie does not succeed, what's important is the fact that we still went on this incredible journey with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and so many others who have actually shown us beautiful sights of many planets, creatures, and all. And what people do speculate.
God, you completely forgot about James Earl Jones and Harrison Ford. Yeah. Shit, Lord.
Okay, well, okay, what I was trying to pertain is because, yeah, okay, you're right. It's just what I'm saying is that I feel bad now. Yeah, it was because they killed off Harrison Ford for one, and then James Earl Jones doesn't appear like his voice doesn't appear in the others. It just appeared within 4 episodes of Star Wars, and his voice is nowhere to be seen. But there is a possibility because they are theorizing that there is a phantom version of Vader. I could be wrong about this because they said according to the trailers that there actually may be an actual phantom version of Vader coming back, which I don't know. That's why I held my breath on James Earl Jones' voice and Harrison Ford because he got killed off. But all in all, what's important is that we took this journey throughout episode 1 and all the way. Even if Ryan Johnson's The Last Jedi did the absolute worst, I honestly think that the Rise of Skywalker can.
Worse than the prequels.
Yeah, but the prequels themselves, they actually did a tremendous job where Last Jedi failed.
Oh, without a doubt, I agree.
If you bring back Hayden Christensen at least for for Anakin Skywalker like a Force Ghost, oh my gosh, I would actually be happy. Bring back Obi-Wan. If you brought back Yoda, bring back Obi-Wan. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, like jeez, like I know that Ewan McGregor is like doing his stuff for Doctor Sleep.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go see that too.
Oh, I'm seeing it with my mom because she grew up on The Shining, and that's just another thing. Like I want to let you finish, and then we'll come back on to Doctor Sleep before we go on to the whole Star Wars. We're already like neck deep in shit onto Star Wars.
Oh yeah, we are. Which I'm thrilled for Ewan McGregor because he is in fact one of my favorite actors. Like he's up in the top of my favorite actors, along with Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and so many others. Even with Jack Nicholson, and I could go on. But the Rise of Skywalker, this is the only thing that I'm wondering. What is the Rise of Skywalker? Is this some sort of new change, possibly? A lot of people speculated that maybe the name term of Jedi is going to change to Skywalkers. Maybe, I don't know. The Rise of Skywalker, it has to mean something. You know, Luke is still in this. He's just more like a Force ghost, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, like when I saw the stuff with Luke, I'm just like, dude, you're the most OP Jedi ever with like the expanded universe, and yet you just go out the pussy way as possible. I'm just like, dude, no. I was like, after I watched on Netflix, I was just furious. I'm like, dude, there was just no way, because at this point in your age, Luke, you should be the most OP as fucking Jedi ever. Well, I mean, without a doubt, like with what he did with Kylo Ren. I mean, with that force and power, it's like pretty OP. But I'm like, the way you've done it, it's like, no. Ryan Johnson, you need Prozac. You need Prozac.
Oh yeah, Ryan Johnson, you also deserve this.
No, not Jasmine. He needs Prozac.
No, I was actually referring to the fact that I think that
I know. I heard the lightsaber. I'm like, dude, he needs Prozac.
I was going to say, like, destroy every movie with a lightsaber. Destroy The Last Jedi with a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, he needs Prozac.
Oh yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with like saying, oh, I want to like eviscerate him, just battle him. Someone's like, dude, you need Prozac.
And speaking of which, whoever made that article saying that Rey is a more powerful Jedi than Luke, You got no clue what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Ray is just a literal Mary Sue, just like Captain Marvel. And like, I know that people were saying, like, on the Sci-Fi Channel, when they were, like, dick writing on saying, like, the Mary Sue thing is, like, really counterproductive over just strong
I like Star
female
Trek, too.
characters. And I'm just like, dude. And they were bringing up onto Arya Stark onto Game of Thrones. I'm like, dude, you do realize that Arya Stark has been through neck-deep shit onto her own stuff, and she's a very fucking developed character, and she has her motives and stuff. But the fact in season 8 that she was the one that killed the Night King instead of Jon Snow, and Jon Snow was confirmed throughout the entire series of Game of Thrones as Azor Ahai, you completely fucking destroyed the prophecy of Azor Ahai. That's where I was like, okay, no, just shut the fuck up. No, stop.
That's where I had like this like disastrous revelation that D&D was gonna screw Star Wars up for everybody if they went that route.
What?
Like they were just gonna throw some convoluted bull crap about the Sith and Jedi. Like we're gonna go back to this midichlorian crap. No, I don't want midichlorian crap. Like I'm just making up an example, but it's just that's something I couldn't face. But to me, Star Wars. Here's where I'm gonna put this as, and this is no disrespect to Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, James Earl Jones, and to any people like even to Daisy Ridley and to anyone else, or even to Oscar himself. This is no disrespect because I love these actors and actresses. They've done a tremendous job, and despite Ray being a Mary Sue and all, and some things about Star Wars, but I don't see anything after Return of the Jedi being canon. Like this version of the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, and then the Rise of Skywalker, I just don't see that as canon, in my own opinion. But which they were talking about marriage. Hold on. Let me see if I can redial him. I think the expanded universe, which when you had Han Solo with Jason Solo, like with Mara Jade, I think that would have been the perfect area. That they should have gone on that, but I think Disney made some very poor choices when it came to that. Hold on, Atticus. I'll try to get you in here. Let me just try to. Yeah. No, it's because like if I go to a call on Facebook or if I go to an area real quick to go there, it's gonna turn it off real quick and then it's gonna bring me back and then that's what shows that, which is my fault, which I have to own up to that. There we go. Call. Hold on, Atticus. I'll try to get you back in here. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. That way, I actually have access and I can hear him. Call him, damn it! Contacting right now. Trust. Okay. Hey, Atticus, I am actually close to losing power, so what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up by talking about Dr. Sleep, and then we're going to wrap it up from here. Would that be okay?
That's fine.
Okay. So, you may proceed.
All right. So all I gotta say is that I was very skeptical onto Dr. Sleep, but then I hear like based on Stephen King's next novel. So like when I heard that there was gonna be a sequel to The Shining, I'm like, dude, there is no way you're going to fuck up on Stanley Kubrick's just phenomenal like art, just performance and just art masterpiece of The Shining. But then like after watching A Haunting at Hill House, and the director, I forget his name, I think it's like Mark something, but like after watching what he did with Haunting at Hill House, and just seeing that he was gonna do Dr. Sleep, like, dude, go right the fuck ahead. I am like, welcome for this. I am like all for it. Just really don't fuck everything up that is The Shining, because The Shining is one
Good night,
of my
Winter.
favorite horror films.
Sorry, I was saying good night to somebody. You can continue. They were just leaving.
Yeah, I'm good. That's what I had to say.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, so thank you very much, Atticus, for coming here. This actually made a very good day. We got some stuff we got to talk about. We got to get past all the Onision RSN drama bullshit. We got to do some cinema talk, which that was phenomenal, and just from my own taste. I think maybe one of these days I'll actually cover the whole Bethesda situation going on with the $100 of a subscription after when you buy a $60 game, which is absolute bullshit. But yeah, thank you, Atticus. You actually made the show liven up. I'm really happy that we finally got a lot covered, and I've got a lot going on. So before I start ending this off, I want to let you guys know I am writing a Western novel, and I'm actually very dedicated to this one because I really want to make this into a story. It's very highly inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2, even some biblical stories as well. Is also a part from some other stories that I'm doing. So basically, the main character that I actually have written is actually based off of 3 people: Cliff Burton, Han Solo, and Arthur Morgan. Basically, you know where those 3 are from in different areas. One in real life, 2 of them are fictional characters, which Harrison Ford playing Han Solo, obviously fictional. But I'm 50 pages in, and I'm still not even halfway done with the story, which my goal is to at least get to 100 pages, and I'm hoping to at least get there. But I really feel very inspired, and so once I get done, I'm actually going to share this with you guys. And just to let you guys know, if you're interested in reading the story, I am open to criticism. If there's ideas that you like about it, let me know. But once I get it written, sorry, I almost dropped that. Once I get the story written, I will actually share it with you guys. I did promise some people on Instagram who were very interested and intrigued by it. I will share it with you guys. So I'd like to thank every one of you guys for coming out. Thank you specifically to everybody in this stream and or people that were here. Everyone from like Lemmy, Orleander, Starflame, Samuel, Shades, Atticus, definitely my guest speaker, Athena. Let me see if I can find anyone else that was also here. I already said Orleander.
Oh yeah, and just thank
Lemmy.
you so much for having me on board, Jess. And I'm Atticus the Death Miller. If you want to check me out, please subscribe to my channel.
Definitely subscribe to Atticus the Death Miller. Not to mention Halloween. We actually had that dramatic reading coming out, so I do implore you guys to stay tuned for that for the near future because that will be coming out Halloween.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
And Chelsea, thank you for coming out. Thank you for helping me be the moderator too. You're also a good moderator on Stevie's show, by the way, too. Pretty cool. Congrats. Let's see who else was also on here. Just want to double check. I don't like to leave have people left out. There's Shades. I think that's everybody. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out. So I will catch every single one of you on the next stream. Don't worry, I will actually have this one scheduled for next time. This one kind of just came out of nowhere. So what I will start doing, I will actually start making a schedule for streams that I'm planning on doing. It's just because I have an unpredictable work schedule, and I'm planning on flying out soon, so I have some business of mine that I have to attend to. So, thank you. And yes, I know there were certain trolls that we dealt with on Stevie's live stream, by the way, Chelsea. And I think you know who those trolls particularly are. We're not going to acknowledge who they really are on the stream. We just want to keep it at best. Keep that away. So, Atticus, I will catch you later. Thank you for being on the show. I will catch you later, all right?
All right, dude.
All right. You have a happy Halloween as well, too. And I love you to death.
You too, man.
All right. Go in peace, brother. All right, guys. And I do appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you guys for participating in the stream. Thank you guys for actually giving some positive vibes. I will catch you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Let me see if I know how to shut this off without making myself look like an awkward asshole. So let me go ahead and do that.